Hello everybody and welcome to the first video of this project. So the first topic that we want to discuss today is there is no greater good and no lesser evil. So at this point I want you to go ahead and pause the video and reflect about it, find whatever meaning you think you can get out of this and find whatever value you can get out of this. And then when you have fully thought everything through and you believe you've done everything to your best abilities, just unpause the video and we'll discuss from there. Okay. I hope you all had a good chance to think and reflect on this. I hope you found some meaning in this. I hope it's a good exercise your brain. So I want to discuss this, and the main point about what I got from this is that um, there's essentially no greater good and there's no lesser evil. Very literal and straightforward, but it has deeper impacts on the way that we think and operate. So good is good, evil is evil, and there's essentially no hierarchy between these two. There's no ranking between this is a better good or this is a lesser good, and this is a lesser evil and this is a greater evil. They're just things are simply good or they're simply evil. So things like kindness or being respectful or being nice to somebody, those are all equal. The one isn't a better good than the other one. And the same thing for evil. Evil is not exclusively evil isn't this is less evil, this is greater evil, this is more evil than that evil. And so for example, something like theft is evil, murder is evil. Like these things are evil. And a big important reason for distinguishing that there is no greater good and no lesser evil is that these can do two different things depending on what you're talking about. For example, for good, if you say there's a greater good, that obviously means that there's lesser goods. Like this good isn't that important. It's like okay, so being, you could say giving somebody money to support them in times of financial need is a greater good, and but being kind or nice to somebody is a lesser good than being charitable. So you may justify not even doing the quote unquote lesser good because you can do the greater good. But we should strive to always do good, regardless if you think it's inferior or superior, because there really isn't an inferior or superior to that. Consider, for example, say you have one doctor that per month they save 10 lives, and then another doctor per month they save one life. You may say that the doctor that saves 10 lives per month is greater. He's a greater good. He's better good than the other doctor that saves one person per month. But they're both good. They're both good doctors. They both do good. They save people's lives. So it's important to acknowledge that they're both good and that one isn't superior or inferior to the other. And there's also, a lot that goes into being a doctor. For example, one could be like a nutritionist that saves people, and then another one's like a heart surgeon. So obviously, there's going to be a pretty big difference of impact in how many people they save. This no greater good and no lesser evil. There definitely is a response or rebuttal, like a point of like contention that people could definitely debate, and the premise would essentially be if there's no hierarchy of evil, then why does every single evil act carry different punishments? So if you do theft, it's a lesser sentence than murder, and then all the other different evil acts, extortion, slavery, everything else have like different degrees of punishments in our legal system and society in general. So if there's no such thing as lesser evil, then why are there different punishments? And my response to that is that the punishments are dictated by the impact that they have to the victim. So a good example is a comparison between like theft and murder, because theft obviously in almost all cases is in pretty much every single case is obviously less than murder. If you murder somebody, they stop living, obviously. But for theft, it is different, but it could be comparable in certain ways because it could lead to the death of somebody. So I say theft can be comparable to the how severe and extreme it is. So consider there's, say, a farmer, and you stole all of his crops, you stole all of his seeds, his money, his equipment, his farming equipment. You've effectively made it so he no longer has any food to feed himself, and he has no way to make money or food or support himself anymore. And that degree of theft could very well lead to him just like starving to death. And so it could be comparable. It could directly result in killing somebody. So it's like that's why I think there really is no lesser evil. It's and the punishment is dictated by how impactful it is to the victim. So it's like if you took someone's like pencil, then it's like obviously you're not threatening their life. They're not gonna hopefully they're not gonna starve to death from you taking a pencil from somebody. But the punishment is really it's 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 given in line with how severely it impacts the other individual. And so that's what my response is to the that point of contention. So I don't think we really should compare and contrast these good or evil. Things are simply good or they're simply evil, and we should just kind of keep it that way. We shouldn't, if we compare and say like there's great good, then we could justify a lot of bad things. I mean, in history, a lot of like things like genocide, for example, are justified off the back of like it's for the greater good. We have to kill this amount of people, and then it will help the 90% remaining population. It's like those types of things can be used to justify really bad things. And then the no lesser evil, it's like those always come up around politician times, right? Those always come up around election times. It's like we have to vote for the lesser evil. Well, that doesn't make very good coherent sense, and it's not a good argument because at the end of the day, you're still voting for evil. It's like if you're voting for one devil over another devil, it's like, oh, well, that devil's way worse than the other one. It's like you're still voting for a demon at the end of the day. Not exactly preferable. It's like when you vote and elect, you're like, I want to vote and elect somebody that's a good person, that's going to do good things, not like, oh, you got a bad option A and bad option B. So those things were always just kind of like funny to me. We're like, oh, you got to vote for the lesser evil during election. It's like, I'm not going to vote then. I'm going to vote for somebody who's actually good and I think is good, or I'm just not going to vote. That's how it is. And so hopefully you guys had some takeaway from this. Hopefully you had a little bit of fun in it. I'll probably redo and retake this one and revisit this one at some point because I think this one does have it does have a lot of ground to cover, a lot of interesting things to talk about. So thank you all. Have a good day, and if you have any discussions or debates or anything, any input you want to put on this, then go ahead and leave a comment. Thank you all, and have a good day.